Hi, my name is Cuffley. If you haven't played any games in the Skate franchise, you're really missing out. In my eyes, it's one of the best video game series ever. But that is partly because Skate 3 was a childhood game of mine, so I might be a bit biased. But still, when I wasn't building elaborate houses and setting up winding roller coasters in Minecraft, chances were I was cranking out sick tricks on Skate. And no, there was no in between. Of course, beneath the rose-tinted glasses of nostalgia, there are actual reasons why Skate is so good. Breakneck online challenge sessions, on-the-fly map editor, the Fable, Hall of Meat. Skate had it all. And that makes it even more crazy, the last entry in this franchise released in 2010. Some of you weren't even born then. A few of you, a very select few. And that is kind of insane. Especially considering the whole series is made by EA. And when it comes to sports games, they love their yearly broken releases. But things have changed over the last few years. After a decade of silence, EA thought it all through. They've realized just how many players are clamoring for a sequel. And they've caved in. I mean, they've seen dollar signs, they know what's up. They are making Skate 4. Or Skate, period? It's a pretty funny name, no matter how you slice it, and we still don't know when it's coming. So I thought I would share some of my feelings about the future of this franchise, what its previous entries mean to me, and express some of my doubts about it going free to play. Because we've had countless live service titles crop up over the years, and with nearly every month, that number is steadily increasing. Ever since Fortnite took over the world in 2017, we've been flooded by games that try to capture some of its magic, have a piece of that Fortnite cake. And some have actually managed and are now competing with it. And Electronic Arts doesn't want to stay behind in this race. They want even more live service titles that break records and make a ton of cash for them. I mean, sure, we got one massive moneymaker in the form of Apex Legends, one of the biggest games on the planet. Well, who says we can't have two? Or free for that matter. That one didn't work out. So I guess the first question that comes to mind is, why should we care? And how will the new Skate somehow be any different? Well, number one, there aren't many popular skating games on the market. The last big one was, I guess, Session. Oh, and there was also the remake of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater in 2020. That franchise is still huge in its own right. It's the main reason skating games in general were once selling like crazy. But with its more arcadey type of gameplay, it doesn't scratch the same edge skate players are looking for. This gaping hole in the video game market is still there and waiting to be filled. Go look at TikTok. Skate 3, a 14-year-old game, is doing insane numbers there. And no wonder. People want to chain together the meanest of trick combinations, goof around online, and do it all with others. Or at least see others doing the same thing. That leads me to say, if EA plays their cards right, Skate Period could actually end up being the one and only skate game. And they seem to be making some big moves towards that. Number two, they're releasing it on every platform imaginable. PC, last-gen consoles, and supposedly even phones. All with cross-progression, so you can play on your way to school or work, and hop on your PC and continue skating there with no problem. There's also no barrier to entry given the game will be free. Don't get me wrong, I hate the live service model in gaming as much as the next guy, and I'll probably share my feelings on it in a dedicated video at some point, but Skate Comma being free to play might turn out to be a really good thing. Look at Riders Republic or Concord. There's a big chance you've never even heard of these titles, and I wouldn't blame you. One of the reasons why is, well, their tragic marketing, but also their steep price tags. That cost of entry can be deadly to a game of any caliber, but especially live service kind. Then again, the downside to being free is usually an exorbitantly expensive item shop, with, in the worst case scenario, straight up pay-to-win elements. The devs said very clearly these are not happening, but they said the same thing about loot boxes and someone still found them in the game's files. So who knows, maybe they just happen to change their mind. Let's freaking hope not. And I guess number three, there's the case of player feedback and not rushing the release date. Unlike some studios. Where Skate Ampersand differs from almost every other unreleased game is that since 2022, people have been actually playing it. That's right, the devs have been holding public playtests to let others try out what they're working on. And if you were so, you could even sign up right now. That is pretty unique to say the least, and it may lead to some typical live service drawbacks being actually ironed out before the masses get the game in their hands. Considering Full Circle is taking their time, not rushing to get their product out the door as fast as possible, I'd say that bodes well. They still made the announcement 3 years too early, but I'll forgive them if they keep it in the oven until it's ready, load it with plenty of cool stuff, and make it a really fun experience. But what if it isn't? What if Skate is just a total flop? Yeah, that was all the positive stuff. It's time for my worries. Well, the skate game market is not oversaturated, not by a long shot. The free-to-play one definitely is. So many titles have seen a massive decline in players and get unceremoniously shut down. That wouldn't be that big of a deal if Skate Asterisk had a single-player mode, but yeah, I don't think that's happening. Some player feedback is to be ignored, it seems. We also can't verify a lot of what the developers are probably proclaiming on their social media. The playtest campaign is unique in not only the fact it exists and has been running for so long, but also because every playtester is bound by an NDA. They legally can't speak on what they got to play. That's not only a bummer, it's just plain weird. Is it because EA fears a massive backlash when people see how the game is shaping up long before they are ready to release it? Maybe. Most important of all though, a live service game lives and breathes updates. And if #Skate wants to sustain its player base, it needs to have those meaningful changes that are regular and actually interesting. Will they be that way? We don't know, but since it's still time, I'll take this opportunity to list my own few suggestions, like with all the in-game locations. I mean, players have to skate somewhere, right? They could go about them the way early Fortnite did. That's not to say I see them dropping asteroids or nuking any places, or adding guns to Skate, but we know St. Vansterdam, the city we'll get to play in, is under wholesale construction. There might be spots that aren't finished, buildings at risk of a collapse, or more. I mean, honestly, there's some good potential here. Remodeling areas in creative ways, fair and engaging challenges, collabs and events with skating icons, the list is technically endless. And that's why it pains me so much to say Skate could very well be yet another example of video game companies chasing trends, cashing in and making products that are iterative rather than innovative. But I really hope it isn't. So yeah, dear Full Circle and EA, don't have us pay hundreds of dollars for a skateboard deck, give us more Hall of Meat, make the game as fun as possible, and listen to player feedback. Yeah, that's all I have to say. Thanks for watching, and hopefully see you in the next one.